You know, not only am I obviously flushing the lymphatics out, but I'm detailing, you know, again, in between the connective tissue and releasing a lot of the fascia around Mike's knee that's just been bound up. So envision a tight pair of jeans getting looser, right? So we're releasing just that fascial sleeve, if you will, around Mike's knee that I can feel, and also little by little opening up, you know, all the quad muscles and making sure they're healthy. Insertion origin, which is going to take pressure obviously off the knee as well. You know, you can imagine with Mike's mass sitting, you know what I mean, and those hamstrings getting bound up tight. So we got to keep all this pulled apart, and again, it's just a blood flow thing. Mike creates trauma, so we just need that recovery so Mike can continue progressing at the rate that he wants to, you know.
So I can keep doing trauma, and then you keep fixing, and then I trauma.
Yep.
And back and forth.
Yep. See, most people feel trauma and they stop. Mike's creating trauma to make himself better. The difference in way, you know, how you look at trauma or how you accept trauma in your life. You know what I mean? Mike wakes up and looks for it, but he looks for it in the right places, putting it right in his muscles.
Jimmy went deep on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every so often. All right. But it's so true, even with my own thinking, like, gosh, why did I stop, you know, going to the gym, or why did I stop, you know? If your day starts around your physical, you know, emotional, spiritual health, then you got a good day.
The one time you can control the trauma.
Yeah.
Why not push it?
And then have a better control of the environment around you,
There we go.
the people around you.
Bam.
She have her knees, especially. Sometimes it's just a lack of blood flow. So, you know, instead of Mike having to warm up for 20-30 minutes, you know, he's still have his warm up, but his knees are going to feel better already, you know. Sometimes you get these stubborn little pulls here and there, and it's so interesting sometimes that I've experienced some discomfort around my knees, and it was literally like click click, and I felt better. And I was like, whoa, if I wasn't a soft tissue worker, would I have skipped the gym? Would I have given that an excuse to miss the gym one day, and then maybe 2, and then 3, and then maybe a month, and who knows, you know? Or am I like getting out of bed excited for the sun to come up, like flexing my abs in the mirror and eating healthier, and making better choices with my meals and having healthy relationships? Everything kind of goes hand in hand with who you surround yourself with, and how you eat, and how you train, and how you treat yourself, and how you speak to yourself. So.
So what are you doing now? You flipped him?
Yep, flipped him. Now I'm just stripping out behind his calves and his hamstrings. Mike's freaking legs are so damn big. His hamstrings, I swear, they're like the size of a volleyball. So I really try to open and unlock at least some of the major cords, because I get in a couple of those in between a couple of the hamstrings there, and his legs just open up, and just so the blood flow and the circulation, and again, those legs are almost like, I think someone was telling me the calves almost like a second heartbeat, you know. And again, imagine if you're not getting any blood flow or circulation. So hit that green button there. So again, as I work on Mike, you know, it obviously takes many hours to work the whole body, and we're limited. But with the time that we still have, we can be very effective and still unlock, you know, some of his areas that we want to pay more attention to based on what he's training and really wanting to develop more that week. Because Mike's body is a work of art. So just as I'm sculpting with what I do, he's sculpting, you know, with his nutrition, with his food, with the weight training, you know, and his recovery. So it's cool to watch it all come together the way it should. And when you work with someone with absolute consistency in every aspect of his life and his recovery, then the work I do isn't, oh wow, oh yeah, well maybe that had something to do with it, where we know it was either effective or it wasn't, and how can we make it as effective as possible. And just like my entire life has been, so is Mike's, with his training and his recovery effectiveness and longevity. It's funny, someone online, and there's a lot of people who just, I think, talk out their ass to trigger people. And they're saying, oh, and it's the people who are like, oh, the studies show, as if they need proof to show that they're not totally full of shit, even though they really don't have enough experience to have a say. So some of them do, but sometimes they jump in other people's paths, if you will, and they are no expert. Some dude commented, well, that's not true. And I'm like, you wouldn't even know. Like, if it was or it wasn't. And holy smokes, everything I talk about is what I've experienced with my work. So anyway, it's cool working with Mike being so consistent, because we know what's effective and what isn't.